This month, the virtue is patience. It's an important virtue. So important I decided the wait was over. It was time to go to the man I'd been working my whole life for an interview. It was none other than the genius behind the big cotton curtain at the Mississippi. That's Arkansas. Or Arkansas, if you're looking at the word and how it's spelled. We're going to meet with Pastor Edwin Doepan. Pastor Ed. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me, Reverend Doepel. Reverend Doepel.
It's Dopel, but you can call me Pastor Ed.
I went to my research department and I found out you're a bit of a clown.
Who said that?
Before I reveal any sources, I need to tell you that I pride myself on my own clownness and tomfoolery and whatnot, and so you're a bit of competition to me.
Bring it on.
Alright then. Okay, here's an icebreaker. What are prehistoric monsters when they fall asleep?
That's easy. A dinosaur.
What's the fruitiest lesson?
History.
Why?
Because it's loaded with dates.
What language do they speak in Cuba?
Cubic.
Dude, I learned that one from Pastor Gene.
I taught Pastor Gene that one.
Touché. Knock knock.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Wow, I don't know how you did that. I'm a bit frustrated. You're really good.
It is you who say that I'm good.
Okay, I'm a bit overwhelmed by your joke skillery and your dashing good looks, of course. So I need to cut to the chase. Patience. Tell me about this.
Are you talking about patience in a hospital? Or having patience while you sit in a waiting room at the hospital?
Kind of sounds like the same thing the way you described it.
It is. And it isn't.
That's profound. You're smart like that Pastor Mike M. Only I can't see my reflection in your forehead like his.
That's because the smarts bounce off of him and go into you.
That's hilarious.
You are.
What?
What?
I've never been so intrigued or confused by this encounter. I wasn't sure if I could ever stop his comedy. Was he a genius? A clown? A pastor? Or other? Okay, we need to get back on track.
Okay, Nigel, enough funny stuff, but I want you to know what God has to say about patience. Let's get out our Bibles.
You call that a Bible? That's not a Bible.
This is just my schooling Bible. I was just setting it to the side. Here's my study Bible.
Now that's a Bible.
Yes. Thanks for recognizing it.
Straight to the source. I like where you're going.
That's good. Now let's listen to what God's Word really has to say about this whole thing. In Psalm 86, verse 15, it says, Psalms is right in the middle of the Bible. I mean, right square in the middle. Okay. But you, O Lord, are compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness.
Because he's slow to anger, his anger comes to a boil gradually rather than just exploding like my school mom that used to teach me.
What?
It's okay, I got it figured out.
I don't think so. You see, because God's love is so great, he doesn't lose his temper with us. He is the ultimate being of patience.
Exactly what I was saying.
Not at all, but let's go back to the Bible. Psalm 40 verse 1 says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry.
So this is like after you start crying and God gives you a look, you know, that look like he knows that you've been hit or something, you've been hit with a club or just beaten, and that's why you're crying.
No, it's a kind of a cry from your soul, like a prayer.
Because you've been slapped in the face.
I'd like to slap you in your face.
What?
I said, let's pick up the pace.
It didn't sound like that.
It did. And it didn't.
Wow. Go on.
Now let's go to Galatians 6 verse 9. It says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up.
So what you're saying is that patience is good for farmers because of the harvest and whatnot, and since your church is on a farm, so by the transitive property, patience is good for crossroads.
I don't follow your logic even a little bit, Nigel, but patience is good for everyone.
Nailed it.
Bottom line is perseverance is the key to patience. No matter what your goal, you always strive to persevere and stay the course.
Well, I believe we've accomplished a lot today. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, before you go, I got a couple of jokes I'd like to run by you, okay?
Absolutely.
Why did the race car driver have so many pit stops?
I don't...
He was asking for directions.
I started getting really uncomfortable. I really couldn't take much more of his hilarity. I was getting a bit dizzy, a little bit nauseous. Plus, I just had a 32-ounce big gulp from the 7-Eleven. 2 of them, actually. I had to create a diversion.
Look, something shiny.
What? Where? Nigel?
We eventually met up again, kind of like a play date. I had a new friend.
And friends are friends forever, if the Lord's the Lord of them. And then you are to be patient.
Now it's me.
Even when the jokes don't end. And it's hard to say you wait when the singing goes too late. Patience is the reason why we'll stay as friends. Patience is the reason why we'll stay as friends. Patience, my friend, I'm frustrating you. That's why we're learning about patience, friend. Now here's the end.
The end.